Hi, I'm Titli and this is my busy garden. It's a gorgeous day here today. It's 21 degrees with a bit of a breeze. And as usual, I've got quite a few jobs I need to do. Now you'll notice that the greenhouse door is open, and that's because when I went in earlier it was over 40 degrees in there. But I've taken some protective measures, like putting this mesh up. It's only lightly tacked at the corners, but at least it should keep the terrorists out when the door's open. So today, let's go through the rectangular door. I'm not going to stay in here very long this week, because as you can see it's absolutely boiling. But I did go out and buy some more pots. Goodness me, look at the root on this. Well, the chilies are certainly going to love the hot weather in this greenhouse. I wish they had beamed down from planet Bird's Eye Chili. It would make life a lot easier. Dribble, dribble, dribble with my dribblesome watering can. If you're wondering where the broccoli got to, I've put them outside to acclimatise. Actually, I've discovered quite a useful little tool in the greenhouse today. A fork. I've got quite a few French beans have sprouted and I want to tease them out, so I'm going to use the fork, stab in, and I can lift the plant out without damaging the roots. Lovely! Now I'll go and pop these in the garden. I'll dib some holes. Drop him into the hole carefully. Make sure all his roots are in. Got my glove on, look. Feeling a bit like Michael Jackson. Oh! Then give him a good water. I'll water the ones next to him while I'm at it. And in the spaces where I don't yet have beans, I'm going to plant the beans directly into the soil. So I should be warm enough by now. And from now on I'm going to water my beans every day, particularly in this hot weather. They're going to need it. And the last thing I need to do is apply a few WMD. WMD, Weapons of Mollusk Destruction. There is one more job I need to do before I evacuate this solar inferno, and that's harvest my first courgette. I was hoping he'd get longer rather than fatter, but hey, that's the story of my life. Well, he's certainly a chunky little doodad, isn't he? The other thing I'll do is cut off these yellowing leaves at the bottom. They're just about dead. Now I'll just pop those on the compost. Time to get the heck out of Dodge. Now for the last 3 weeks I've had the same question pretty much every day. When are you going to grow some beetroot? So for 48 pence I've been out and bought some beetroot seeds. It's surprising how cheaply you can buy domestic bliss sometimes. So I'm going to sow a single row of beetroot at a depth of 13 millimeters in warm soil as directed by the instructions. Yeah, right, I'm going to measure 13 millimeters. Dee 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 dee. Beetroot, 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 be true to your heart. I just made that up. Wasn't bad really, was it? They're quite big seeds, so I can pretty much place them individually and then just cover over and water them in. It fell off. Stupid thing. I'd better put a doodad in to remind myself that I have actually planted something here. There they're planted. Now I hope for a little bit of peace and quiet. I've spent a lot of time talking about the fruit and veg in the last few weeks, but I also need to start doing something with the flowers, particularly the daffodils. So it's time for some cutting and a song to stop me getting bored senseless. This week, Pink Floyd. Come on here, big boy, have a cigar, you're gonna go far. And if we tell you the name of the game, boy, to the machine, ticking away the hours that make up a dull day. Fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. At this rate, I'll get through the entire album Dark Side of the Moon before I finish. Now, in the process of doing this, I've uncovered quite a few slugs and snails, so it's time for a few more WMD. Come on here, big boys, have a cigar, you're gonna go far. Something else that needs a bit of attention is this climby thing. I mean, look, there's dangly things going off here, there's dangly things here, and I think I can feed these into the trellis. But look up there, it's gone berserk. Time for a trim. I'll start by feeding some of these through the trellis to tidy them up a bit. The problem I found last year was that if you leave this thing to its own devices, it kind of goes berserk and climbs over everything. And I think that's about as far as I really want it to go. Look at this chunky stuff here, it's wrapped all around itself. Now I'll trim these growing tips back to a pair of leaves. Should stop them growing any longer. Well, that's a bit neater. The behaviour of this plant is most bizarre. It did exactly the same thing last year. It started by growing up straight and then just kind of fell outwards. Maybe it doesn't naturally do that. Maybe it's being used as a terrorist base. Whatever the issue, I'm going to help it regain its dignity with my friend, the bamboo. Okay, let's try and lift you up a bit. I've lost my string. Here we go. That's better. Can't having you look like you're drunk. This little extra support here to the bamboo. Much better. Much, much better. Now, while we're on the subject of flowers, let's have a look at some of the other flowers in the garden at the moment. That's all I've got time for this week. Thanks for watching and do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.